Greetings from the Lighthouse Missionary Baptist Church. And for those who are tuning in, it's good to have you with us once again as we go before our Lord and Savior in service. Shout with us, sing along with us, and just lift up the name of Jesus because he is worthy to be praised. Shout for joy in the Lord, O you righteous. Praise benefits the upright. Give thanks to the Lord with the lyre. Make melody to him with the harp of 10 strings. Sing to him a new song. Play skillfully on the strings with loud shouts. Our scripture lesson on today comes from Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. Those who are viewing via Facebook live streaming, I just want you to know that we here at Lighthouse are using the NIV. You probably would have found a difference in your word in the past several months, but we do use the New International Version of our Lord's text. Luke chapter 2, verse 1 through verse 4. Amen. And it reads as follows. In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria. And everyone went to their own town to register. So Joseph went up also. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. The Lord bless and edify to our hearts so we know his holy word. Come to the hour of prayer. Time when we should be praising God. Time when we should be exalting him as we pray reverently and in a humble fashion. We just want to take a few minutes before we go to God to open up the floor of the church to receive any of our prayer requests and praise reports that may be on the hearts of our membership here. For those of you who are viewing, you can listen silently or say out loud those prayer requests. God hears all prayer requests, and he certainly is a God that answers prayer.
I'm especially blessed and thankful, praise and glory for the blessing of the food and clothing distribution yesterday. It started a little slow with people coming, but then they came, and we really was very much blessed with the donations that we'll be able to give. We also had workers that came, and they came early. They did what they needed to do, and then they left, and we thank God for that. I do come asking for special prayer for Debbie McLean, asking for her to continue to recover and bless her family as they continue to take care of her. The 200 block of Apsley Street, every home and every person that's here on this block. We do ask, Lord, for special prayer for all my aunts and uncles, my cousins, all my brothers and sisters and their spouses, and all my nieces and nephews. A special prayer is going out asking for blessings for my children and everything that they do, and continue to look after each one individually with the needs and their desires. My grandchildren, we just ask, Lord, that you continue to protect them as they travel. You know, going to school these days is not as safe as it used to be, and we just ask that you bless them. Continue to bless all our friends. Continue to bless this church, those that are not here, bless those that are listening, and we just thank you for that blessing of them being able to listen in. Lord, we ask that you would just continue to keep your loving arms a strong arm around Pastor Tally, giving him the strength to do the things that he needs to do. I also commend all the doctors and lawyers and everyone that still have my well-being on the desk. We ask that you just bless them, continue to bless and direct them in a way that would be beneficial and just help them to accept whatever they allow, whatever you allow to happen, because if you're in control, I know I don't have to worry. Continue to bless Pastor Tally as he waits for a decision in his behalf, and we just ask, Lord, that you know all about it and you know our desire. And in your name, I do pray.
Once again, to leave Brother Samuel on the throne as always, as he continues to battle with Parkinson's, his wife, sister-in-law, that you brought her peace, Father, as she deals with him, and that she'll finally make that decision somewhere down the road to really provide the help that he needs to have. And lift up in the Lord, you know all about his situation, Father, just to lead out and direct him and bless him as he's standing in need. Sister-in-law, Benicia, and Aaron and Clayton, as they move through this holiday season without the husband and father. Also Ariana, you know how close she was to her grandfather. That they might just all band together and the family as a whole mess around them and support them and lift them up in love. And then my aunts down in North Carolina were still mourning passing of their husbands. My first cousin who was going through her first Christmas without her husband, as well as my second cousin who's going through the first Christmas without her father. These are difficult times, but we know, Lord, that you are a God that can bring peace and joy when there is sorrow and mourning. If there be no other prayer requests at this time, we want to prepare our hearts and minds. We go before our Lord and our God in prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come just as we are, not claiming to be anything other than what we truly are, sinners saved by your marvelous grace. We come, Lord, thanking you for a restful night's sleep. We thank you, Father, for blessing us to see the dawn of a brand new day, Lord, to see the mighty works of your hand, to be able to travel down these dusty shores of life yet one more time. Let our light shine ever so brightly, that we might draw some man, woman, boy, and girl into the family of God. We just thank you, Lord, for how you've been using us in this community. We thank you, Lord, for all that you have done, even with yesterday's food and clothing giveaway. We thank you for the many people that came and availed themselves, Lord, to the food we had to give away and the clothes that we had out for them to look at and to take, as well as other items that we had. We just thank you, Lord, for just a successful day. And then, Father, we just ask, Lord, that you would just bless all that who are in attendance here today, here at the church, and those who are watching via our live streaming with Facebook. We just thank you, Lord, for those who brought out robbery to be in worship with us. Bless us, Father, as we stand in the need. You know all about us. You know everything that's going on in the midst of our lives. You know about the decisions that we are waiting to hear. And Father, we just continue to leave them all in your most capable, loving, and powerful hands. that once those decisions are made, that we bask in, Lord, in your glory, in which you have seen fit to grant us with. We come, Father, recognizing that we have sinned upon show your glory this week.
Yes.
Whether we got angry, had an attitude, allowed thoughts to enter into our minds, allowed words to seep out that may have offended someone. No matter what it might have been, Father, we ask for your forgiveness. No matter what it might have been, Lord, we ask for your cleansing. Father, we ask for your strength.
Yes.
And we ask, Father, to show us how we can make amends with those we may have offended. That we can make the road straight, Lord, that we have somehow got crossed up because of something that we have done. Whether we might mend the broken fences, repair the bridges that have been burnt down, Lord, because of what we might have said. And let love reign supreme, Father, in all of our interactions with your children as we pass through this life. That in the day nothing bad could be said about us. At the end of the day, the folk retire to their own rooms, they might know that truly something amazing happened on the course of that day. That whoever crossed their path showed nothing but love. That whoever crossed their path allowed your love and your beauty to reign in and through them. So let us be like that, Lord. Let us be able to show your love. Let people be able to see us, see you in us, Father. Even before we have a chance to utter a word, that they may see and feel your presence all about us and know that we are about your work, that we're about doing your will, that we're about trying to be loving and caring sons and daughters of Christ. Bless us, Father, throughout this service on this morning. You know all about our days this past week. You know about our night, Lord, that had just passed. And so, Father, we just leave our whole selves, Father, on your throne of tender grace and mercy. So move for us as only you can, Lord. Fill us with your Holy Spirit, fresh and new right now from above. And Lord, just manifest your presence here right now with us once again. Lord, that we might feel you even deep within our very souls. And know, Lord, that you're here and present with us as we sing, as we shout, as we praise, as we do all things to your glory and certainly to your honor.
Yes.
Lord, just thank you, Lord, for this great season that we're in. Lord, we recognize and celebrate once again the birth of your Son who came to save us from our sins. Who came as a baby in Bethlehem of Judea, in that manger, who will grow into a man who will give his life as a payment, Lord, for the sins of so many. We just thank you, Father, for this season that we have the privilege of being able to celebrate. We thank you, Lord, because we know it's not about gift giving or gift receiving.
Yes.
That it's all about Jesus.
Yes.
It's all about what he has done for us each and every day. It's all about how he has interceded for us before you, even right now. Father, have your way. Bless all of our absentee members, Lord. And our fervent prayers continues to be, Lord, that you bring it back into our fold. Lord, just guide us as we prepare to exit this year and into a new year, that we might come up with new strategies that we can use and reach out and bring back those who have strayed away.
Amen.
The fathers, have your way.
Yes, Jesus.
Watch over our families. And Lord, we just believe every prayer request on your phone that has been offered today. Recognizing that even before we got finished
Yes, thank you.
sharing our prayer requests, Lord, you have already started the wheels of blessing and motion. And we thank you for that. We praise you because we know, Lord, that if we are sincere enough to come before you in prayer, that you're just to answer our prayers. So bless, Father, these your servants throughout the remaining part of this service. And then, Lord, throughout the rest of this day, then bless us, Father, and prepare us for this coming week. We know not what we will run into. We don't know what will come in the mail. But the enemy has conjured up, Lord, that
Yes, Jesus.
it might disrupt us. It might disturb us to the point that we cannot function as we ought to. But prepare us, Father, that whatever might come down the pipe, as it were, that we might be prepared, Lord, knowing that you're right by our side. Bless, strengthen, and keep us, Lord, in your blessed name, Lord. And we do, Lord, want to leave our sister Devin McLean on your throne.
Yes,
We'd
yes.
be remiss, Lord, if we didn't ask for your continued blessings on her, Lord, in her behalf. That you continue to allow her to heal as doctors allow her to heal. That she will be able to begin eating more regularly, begin eating more solid foods, begin doing those things, Lord, that we all take for granted. Bless her, Father, that she will be able to heal to the point that she'll be back here with us
Yes, yes.
in service, Lord, for you. Just bless her, Father, and her entire family who's rallying around her as she recuperates from the surgery she had just a couple of weeks ago. So bless, Father, in your precious, wonderful name we do pray and ask these and all things with thanksgiving. Amen. We come now to the time we get back to God. And those who are tuning in, we ask that you would be considerate of the lighthouse, that you budget your money each and every week, that you will bless Lighthouse in your giving, that in your blessing us, we might be a blessing to others. So as the ushers come, we would ask you to give as God has blessed you, and to be a blessing to Lighthouse, as well as those around you. Saying all things come of thee, O Lord. All things come of thee, O Lord, and of thine own hands we give of thee. Amen. Let me see it. As you prepare to hear songs of praise, I just want you to think of our theme or our thought for the day. And the Smith children asked you sing and sing the songs of Zion. And see how it matches up with what you're doing in life. Whether you are truly doing what God would have you to do. The journey and preparation. The journey and preparation. How's that matching up to your journeys in life?
One day, we all gonna have to be there. But my desire is, when I leave this out, that I have a seat in His kingdom. We came up with a new song that says, as long as I got a seat in His kingdom, everything will be all right. Listen. I may not have a whole lot of money. I may not drive a fancy automobile. I may not live in a mansion on a hill. But as long as I gotta see it, it's gonna be alright. As long as I gotta see it, it's gonna be alright. Listen here, I may not have a whole lot of money. I may not drive a fancy automobile. I may not live in a mansion on a hill. But as long as I gotta see it, it's gonna be alright. But as long as I gotta see it in the kingdom, it's gonna be alright. Listen, y'all, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Said as long as I gotta see it, it's gonna be alright. Said as long as I gotta see it, oh Lord, it's gonna be alright. Said as long as I gotta see it, oh, it's gonna be alright.
In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria. And everyone went to their own town. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. The season of hope, part 2. The journey and preparation. Preparation is important in everything we do in life, whether we realize it or not. Because in everything that we do, there's a period of preparation. When we are or are not successful in what we set out to do. And the same goes for the journeys we all have set out upon in life. There's preparation required before we set out on our journeys that we have decided to undertake in life. And there's also preparation needed for the expected end of our journeys in this life. For many, it may be a particular college or university and a desired career upon graduation. Preparation before and after is the key to success at the end of our journeys in life. Our scripture lesson tells us about a different journey and preparation, one that will change the course of history. Unlike our journeys in life, the journey Joseph and Mary would embark on will be a tough and difficult one.
Yes.
Our scripture lesson tells us about a decree issued by Caesar Augustus, who was emperor at that time, that a census should be taken with the sole purpose of seeing how many people were in the Roman Empire in an effort to get more taxes from a people already heavily burdened. Everyone in the known Roman world would have to abide by this decree and make the journey to the respective towns of birth or family lineage to register for the census. In Joseph and Mary's case, this was truly a daunting task. For the journey to Bethlehem and up to Judea would require Joseph and Mary to travel through very rough and rugged territory. You see, no paved or brick roads were available at that time, only in certain areas of the empire. And for a young and healthy person, that would not have been an easy journey.
Yes.
And with Mary expecting her first child, the journey will be even harder and difficult. But it had to be done for two main reasons. The first was a requirement or decree by Caesar Augustus, which could not be ignored because soldiers were dispatched to ensure compliance. But unknown to Caesar was the fact that divine intervention was behind all the events of that time to set the stage for the greatest event known to mankind. Oftentimes we don't realize that God is using us as tools to achieve our greater good. We might think we are doing something for a particular reason, but in reality, God is using us to achieve a greater good in this world or in someone's life. While we cannot dispatch the military or even our police force to achieve our intended goal, God will move in our lives in such a way to cause us to send telegrams or even certified letters to reach those he intends to bless or to bring about a great change in their lives.
Yes, Lord.
The last reason for this grueling and punishing journey was the fulfillment of scriptures. that all things might come to pass that were prophesied many years ago by the prophets of old. Lighthouse, this is God's divine plan, a plan that cannot be altered. Anything that God sets in motion cannot be changed or altered by mankind. We might believe that our purpose is to do this or is to do that. But if God already has a divine plan at work, nothing we can do can change it. And we'll become a willing or unwilling tool to achieve his intended will. Things happened during the time of the census that Caesar and the governor of Syria had not planned for, but had no control over the events that would play out during that time. So as we close today, we must remember that for most of us, our journey are not of our own doing, but of God, who planned these journeys even before we were in our mother's womb. Joseph had no control of the events of his and Mary's life, and prepared for that journey, not knowing that it would be a life-changing experience, not only for him, but for his wife as well. Joseph prepared, as did the rest of the people of that day, to journey a long distance to their ancestral homelands. But Joseph's journey had additional preparation in place for the birth of one who would save mankind and pay the price for our sins. Because you see, the ends being full and the consequent birth in the manger was not a coincidence, but a necessary thing. Their scriptures will be fulfilled. But what about our journeys? Can we see God's hand at work? Have we done the necessary preparations for our journeys in life? Whether it's leaving home for the first time, going to a college or a university, or entering the military, just to name a few. If we have not prayed fervently and have asked God for his guidance and preparation of our souls and of our spirits, any preparation we have done or think we may have done will be incomplete. And if by chance we do not achieve the intended goals we have set out to do, but we have seen how God has used us for a greater good, then we need to thank God for using us to achieve his will. We need to thank him even still, even in the midst of not achieving what we thought we were setting out to do. You know, our will is not always God's will. And whenever we set out to do one thing and God alters our course, no matter what it might be, we need to give God the praise and the glory. Joseph set out on a journey not knowing what events might take place, but he had to go. Caesar had mighty troops behind him backing that decree. Anyone who thought he would not go would have faced subsequent punishment. Joseph left and went on the journey, across a rugged land to get to Bethlehem in Judea. But not known to him, or even to Caesar and the governor of Syria, that greater plans were beginning to play out, setting the stage for the greatest birth there ever was on this earth. This is our season of hope, our season of joy. Let us take a good look at our lives and see what our journeys match up to what God would have them to be. See if they matches up to that of Joseph and Mary. And see if we have achieved or whether we have failed in our journeys of life. Because if God was not in the midst of it, then we have already started out on the wrong foot. God bless you as we close out the service. We want to take this moment to open up the floor, the doors of the church, that anyone that might be within the hearing my voice, that doesn't know Christ, that they can come by way of baptism, or if they're in between churches, we invite you to come and make Lighthouse your home. But if you've been away from God so very long that you believe in your heart that you no longer have faith in God, we just want you to know that that faith is still there. But it's pushed down so far that you no longer recognize that you have, or that you still have faith in God. We just call you to come by way of rededication of the faith that you still have but not recognized in God. Because if He gave you life over a long time ago and was baptized, God still has you there. He wants you to come home, come back to Him, that He might be for you all that you need in this life. No matter how you do, God just wants you to come, because He's standing before you with His arms outstretched. Calling you to come to Him right now. He'll take those burdens off your shoulders. He'll bring peace where there's chaos. He'll bring joy where there's sorrow. All you have to do is come. God bless you as we prepare for our benediction and close out the service. God's grace, mercy, and peace will be with us from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Father, Son, and true family love. And the church said, Amen. God bless you. Go in peace.